Hey everybody, this is our final presentation for DTC2. I'm Alex, and there's Anna, Everestus, and Alexia. We're team 4. So this presentation is really split up into two main parts. There's going to be a project overview, and there's going to be a product walkthrough and discussion where we really discuss in greater detail our app. First and foremost, we're going to talk about the problem of grocery shopping. So how we went about deciding on it, discovering it, the relevance with COVID-19, but also how it exists and is prevalent in ordinary circumstances. We're going to delve a little bit into existing software, what makes our app, more efficient and differentiates us from the other existing products already out there. And then we're going to give a little bit of how we're going to implement this into society. Like, what's the value for these big box stores and smaller, mom and pop retailers? What's in it for them, and how do we go about going from an idea to a legitimate app that's, benefits society? And then finally, we're going to talk about why that hasn't been executed. So, what are the pitfalls and obstacles that are preventing us from going about and making this, or making anybody from doing this right now? So first and foremost, the problem that we were kind of juggling at the beginning of this entire process, and we're kind of thinking about what are the really big issues that everybody faces and what are the tasks that have been made more difficult, during COVID-19. I think one of the most prominent things we came up with was retail shopping. And we realized with social distancing, we have to reduce susceptibility to infection. So how do we make these processes more efficient? How do we optimize, the revenue growth for grocery shops? Because they don't want to have a ton of individuals who are just constantly stuck in there. They want to have people who know what they're doing and know what they're getting. So first and foremost, the question we wanted to ask was, how do we increase the efficiency of shopping while we're in the store? Both to lessen infection risks on the behalf of the consumer, but on the behalf of the business, how do we try to maximize their revenue potential as well? And then how are we ensuring that people, to lessen their infection risk and to make sure they're avoiding the store, are truly maximizing what they buy with regards to food waste or leftovers within that, their household at the moment. And then with respect to more ordinary circumstances, grocery shopping was already a multifaceted issue. There was inefficiencies kind of throughout the process, whether it was a financial burden, food waste, individual health. We're hoping to solve for these. We understand we're not going to make a ton of progress across the board here, but we want to make individual progress with respect to each individual household. So first and foremost, financially, we're already seeing over the vast majority of Americans kind of living more paycheck to paycheck. And even if that's not we know, I think it's 1 in 12 or 1 in 10 Americans already live near the poverty line. So that's a significant number. But beyond that, just gaining more financial security and giving greater access to better deals and coupons and availability there. And then also the lack of sustainability that goes on our grocery stores. I think anybody who walks in there sees a ton of food laid out. Not all of that's going to be eaten, obviously. And the USDA has talked about how nearly half of that goes wasted and how much money is lost as a result of that process, in subsidies and whatever the government has to pay out, and also with the individual consumers. And then, obviously on an individual health basis, I think everybody wants to eat a little bit healthier. Obviously that's not going to happen for everyone, but trying to make that more feasible.
We researched existing solutions to the problem we identified. In our research, we saw that no single app addressed the issue of food waste, health, and finance as one problem. Instead, apps address each issue individually. Thus, we made it our mission to design a mobile app that streamlines the functions of meal planning and meal preparation. The app will assist families with meal planning and meal prepping by allowing them the ability to take advantage of deals, organize a shopping list according to a store layout, and plan meals around food ingredients they already have available within their household. Ultimately, the app will help families make financial decisions that appeal to a healthy and sustainable lifestyle.
So the really interesting part of any product is how do you implement it from an idea to a legitimate, product that actually is helpful and efficient and useful, right? And so for us, the one really question we have to ask isn't really the infrastructure. It's more, how do we get these small box stores to want to use it, to be willing to give us information about their store inventories, about their layouts, And so the real key thing here for us is showing that they carry no risk and downside initially. So it means we're likely to operate at a loss. That's the the burden of any startup business. But if our team can prove to these small businesses that our app is effective in increasing store revenues for a long period of time, then we can start to, look at bigger chains. Kroger and Walmart already have associated apps. I'm not sure if like Target does. Trader Joe's doesn't. And so the real question there is like, what factor do we play for those bigger box stores and how do we become increasingly relevant? And so the real question to me is, the key is the marketing and the initial user experience. So how are you going about introducing all these features? How are you synthesizing all of this together? We talked about how this app is unique because there's no one product out there that combines all these different aspects, right? So the question for us is, how do we make it really, really easy to operate and really functional and also really, really efficient? That's the entire point of this after all, right? So that's really the key for us.
And then one thing important to note is just the failure modes that are possible, what could be preventing the success of this app. And that's not really like what would break, but rather what features that we've already planned out would actually be problematic and not help the user. So some of those things might be having too many features. In the nature of having an app that is comprehensive and meets all these different needs, it's easy for a user to feel overwhelmed. And so to kind of prevent that, we've been brainstorming different layout strategies that might help. And this also ties in with lack of flexibility in app features. If someone wants to get to one specific feature, but there's so many to go through until you get there, that could be frustrating. And so to kind of ameliorate that, we've decided for our home screen to really split it up based on shop and table, but then also include the top 3 features for each of those, for shop and table. And then also throughout the app using experience, we're having this bottom bar that's just supposed to make it easier to navigate. You can go back, you can go to home, the home screen, or you can also go to the initial shop or table.
When the mobile application is open, a split screen will appear with a header titled Shop centered on the top left and a header titled Table centered on the top right. Underneath the header titled Shop are 3 options: List, Discounts, and Add Payment Method. Underneath the header titled Table are 3 options: Pantry, Preferences, and Recipes. If the user clicks on Pantry, the user will be directed to another screen where they can select ingredients they have available in their household from several categories listed in the application. On the top right corner of the screen, the user will see 3 icons: Search Bar icon, Camera icon, and List icon. The user can click on the Search Bar icon to manually enter ingredients into their pantry. The user can click on the camera icon to use their camera to take a picture of food items purchased at a store, i.e. their receipts. The user can click on the list icon to view the entire list of ingredients imputed into their pantry. At the bottom of the screen is a bar that the user can use to navigate through the app. If the user goes back to the home page and clicks on recipes, the user can view a range of meals generated based on the ingredients imputed in their pantry. The user can click on various meals to view its ingredients, nutritional facts, and cooking instructions. When the user makes the decision to prepare the following meal, the user can save the meal in their Save tab and add missing ingredients to their shopping list. If the user wants to narrow down the results, the user can go back to the home page and click on Preferences, where they can specify their meal type, diet type, cuisine type, and their star ingredient.
That's what we're thinking to include for the cooking part of this app. For the shopping part, we want to start off the process by setting up the list. What exactly do we need? And this can be done in 2 major decisions. Either you can start from scratch and put in items, or reference previously shopped. And in previously shopped, if you've never used the app before, you can also directly upload a photo of your receipt. And that can help sort out what similar items that you bought beforehand. The next choice, and this is optional, but we think it could really improve the shopping experience. This next choice is to choose where to shop. So for this, again, there are 2 major options. You can either insert radius, and that can help choose stores near you, open up different options, and maybe even do comparisons of price or availability later on. Or the other option is to manually select. And that means you essentially just search up the place that you would like to do your shopping.
So yeah, after you've made a list of all your usable products, it's going to direct you to a store comparison. So you're going to be able to see, like give this an example, it's Target, Walmart, and Kroger next to each other. It could be Trader Joe's. It could be, like Whole Foods, like anything of that sort, I guess. And we're basically just going to line up prices, inventories. Maybe they don't have a brand that you want, but they have like toilet paper. We're just not sure what's going on there. And then down below, you're going to be able to see my discounts. So if there's any sort of updates or coupons that might apply, or any coupons that you might want to add, that's already going to apply, down there as well. Makes it a little bit more efficient. And then obviously we have our home trio down there. So once you select my discounts, this is just what it comes to. Like you can add, remove, you can set up like apps, there's already your current discounts. And then once you go back, and like if you had gone back and you had just selected one of the stores, there's going to be 3 different options. So pick up, deliver, buy it yourself. Obviously you're going to choose one of those, and then you're going to be able to set up your payment as it goes forward.
So then kind of the last feature we have going is you can also organize your list in a different way. So we thought, especially with COVID, it'd be helpful to organize it actually based on layout, which is something we haven't really seen out there. So you would get your list together pretty much like in classic food categories, dairy, produce, extras, meat, bread, whatever. And then once you have that set, you can have it be arranged so that now, based on the store layout, it's based on like what comes first in the store. If produce is closer to the door, you're going to have that higher up on your list. And if you want to kind of check how does that like get arranged, or if you just want to have an idea, you can actually click on based on store layout and you can see the store layout. And there's actually a potential route you could take when shopping, but that's totally optional. We're just trying to open it up, so we're making the shopping experience easier. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for listening, and we want to hear what you guys have to say. Thank you.